Hello and welcome to this ad breakdown. My name is Kevin Anson. So today we're going to be getting into Tony Robbins' peak performance strategy session. This is an ad that's running on Facebook right now. On the right-hand side, this is all the feedback that I have. I have tons of notes on how to make this ad convert even better. On the left-hand side, this is the actual funnel that they are running their traffic to. So before we get started, let's watch the ad itself.
Hi, I'm Tony Robbins. For over 40 years, I've been obsessed with figuring out what are the best tools, the best strategies across all the areas that matter most to people's lives, to really manage teams, to lead them, to produce peak performance when it's not there, to turn things around. I have a group of people that I have trained over the years, and they come and lead peak performance workshops for companies all over the world. They work with your team. They give them the same tools I use in myself, for my clients, and also for all my own companies. I want to give this to you right now at no charge for you. It's led by, again, one of my peak performance strategists, and it gives your team a chance to really come together and connect, led by a person who's an expert in the field using these tools. And these are the same people, by the way, that'll walk your people step by step on how to really master each area. I think you'll find it fun, enjoyable, and impactful. And this team people that I have traveled with me around the world. I've handpicked them to deliver value to businesses just like yours and really help serve these communities.
Okay, so starting off with the most obvious things, and I'm gonna get more into this stuff throughout this video, but it really doesn't mention enough pain. And we're talking about the beginning of the ad here. It doesn't talk about enough of the results or the outcome that the viewer is going to get when they sign up for this program. It doesn't show any social proof. It doesn't talk about any authority. Now, I know we're dealing with Tony Robbins here, but still we need a little bit of authority to know that they've been doing this for a while, specifically for teams. There's also not enough explanation of what the product is. So let me share with you a couple of obvious things. This is a VSL that you guys are running as an ad, right? So this video here is the exact same video as the video that's playing on the funnel. So you guys probably decided, well, let's just try to run this as an ad. Let's see if it works. Regardless of that, I still have a lot of feedback on this VSL itself and how you guys can improve it. Okay, so I'll get to that later. Let's talk about the pains, the desires, and the results. So it doesn't talk about the results or the outcome that people are going to be getting until about 57 seconds into the ad right here. Learn how to instantly increase productivity, okay? Or dominate any market condition with proven tools and strategies. The intro itself is just too long where he introduces himself. It actually takes 10 seconds before I even know that Tony is talking about teams. Because if you listen to the beginning,
obsessed with figuring out what are the best tools, the best strategies across all the areas that matter most to people's lives, to really manage teams. To really manage teams.
So then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's talking about teams. So it takes 10 seconds before I even know that he's addressing teams and that he can actually help with that. And of course, I'll get into a little bit more of how we can fix this later. All right, so let's talk about branding and congruency. The backgrounds and the branding, it doesn't match the funnel at all. If you look at the funnel, we have this primary blue color, this dark blue here at the top. We also have this gold color, which is great, and then we have this purple color. Now, inside of the video itself, there's a lot of random colors happening. The Tony Robbins' lower third right here, his name is like a turquoise color, blue color. Then it gets into this purple color. Then it gets into this turquoise/blue color. And then it gets into this orange and red color. It's like a gradient. Then it gets into this other blue color. And it's just the patterns on the backgrounds, they're all different. There's no congruency between the ad itself and the funnel. We always want to make sure that there's congruency between the ad and the funnel. Otherwise, people drop off because they feel like they're in the wrong place. They don't feel comfortable. And also, the VSL on this page has the same colors going on. So you want to make sure that the colors on this video are matching the colors on the page. Also, I noticed there's a lot of different fonts going on. I want to say there's about 2 or 3 different fonts happening within this video. This is one font. This is the same font. Looks like it might be the same font. And then this right here, this is a different font that comes in right here and right there. So it just feels a little bit off brand. And then this is another font as well. So I would just make sure to pick 1 or 2 at the most. I would stick to probably one font to really make it feel branded and professional. So now let's talk about the how, the product explanation. I need to know more about what this is and how it works. Tony gets into a little bit of explanation on how this works, what it is. He's trained a few of his team members over the years, and they come into your business and they help your teams, but they don't specifically get into these 3 steps that I'm seeing at the bottom of your funnel, which are right here, right? Step 1, the strategy, which is the specific strategy for your teams, getting into activities so you can optimize your time and efforts effectively, or mindset, how 80% of business depends on mindset, and the majority of teams have the wrong mindset. So getting more into the explanation of what this product is and how it can help people would be super, super helpful, because without an explanation on how it works and what we'll be covering, I don't understand the actual product, so it makes me not want to take the next step. It's kind of like selling an iPhone, but never showing the actual iPhone itself. So I'm like, okay, this sounds cool, but what am I actually buying? It needs to get more into the explanation of the product so people can really understand what they're getting into. Now let's talk about the ending text that talks about the results or the outcomes. Now this is great, by the way, but it's just in the wrong place. It needs to come way sooner in the video. Ideally, if we had Tony saying this stuff on camera, that would be huge. If you don't have Tony saying it, maybe you can find clips of him saying this stuff in other videos where he's talking about this offer, or at the very least, have a voiceover talk about this stuff somewhere earlier on in the video. Now, if I was to just talk about this area specifically and how I would improve it, the way that the text animates on the screen, the text isn't in order. So all these words are popping up in different order. So it actually confuses my brain because they're not popping up in order, and so I don't know where to start reading. So it's like, you see the word increase pop up, and then instantly you want to have these words pop up in order, so that way my brain can actually read that sentence in the right order, right? Here's an example of what I would do to make this look a little better, just to square off the text as far as design. Learn how to instantly increase productivity, and then I would have this thing kind of animate on like this and scale up as it's as it's going towards the camera. So that way it's kind of like, it makes your brain read one word at a time. You focus on the word increase and productivity. That's just one design example. I could think of 100 different ways to redesign that. So if I'm just looking at the other text that pops up on the screen, see these ones are popping up randomly. It's not emphasizing certain words. It's not bolding certain words or underlining certain words that you want to draw attention to. It's not italicizing anything. It's not colorizing certain words. So it just looks like a block of text that my brain just really isn't processing, right? So I want to make sure that I'm bolding the words that I want to cause emphasis to. So to make this one better specifically, I would square off all the text. So I would scale up all the words to make sure that it's squared off, just like my example here. And then I would, maybe I would colorize dominate. So I would make dominate a different color, and then proven tools, and then strategies would be a different color to really emphasize the words that I want people's brains to recognize at a glance, because if people can't get the message at a glance inside of a video ad, the message is lost and they won't register inside of their brain. And then once again, I would actually add a voiceover, because you just have the music up during this point in time. If you listen, there's nothing going on to emphasize this text, so I would put a voiceover on top of it to really drive the message home. What you could do also, this might be a little tough and Tony may or may not want to do it, but I would get a descript of Tony's voice. Basically what this does is you can have him read, several paragraphs on Descript, and then you'll have an AI generated voice of Tony. So anything you type in, Tony's voice will say it. So we have this with Mike Tyson, for example. We can type in a paragraph, and Descript will actually spit out an AI voiceover of Mike Tyson's voice saying whatever we want him to say. So that's another option. Something else this video ad needs also is social proof. I want to see videos or testimonial text-based screenshots of people who have actually gone through this program, ideally big companies, and gotten results. So when I check out your funnel, I can see, oh, okay, American Express said this, Harvard Business Review said this, Accenture said this about Tony. And then if I scroll down even more, this guy, Raphael from Wells Fargo Mortgage, that's a huge company, they said this, Rainbow Nature's Air, State Farm, Caliber Home Loans. We want to put some of these text-based testimonial screenshots into the ad, so when people watch it, they know, oh wow, Tony's team has worked with these huge companies. They know what they're doing. They can get the result that I'm looking for. And it just really adds some extra authority to what you're doing, which leads me to the next point. I want to know some more authority about this program. You know, like what's the number of teams that you guys have helped for X amount of years? Maybe you guys have helped, 675 teams over the last 20 years, right? Or we have 35 team members across 25 states and countries who are able to help with this particular offer. We've helped this company and this company and this company. Just name drop a couple companies really builds out that authority, because prior to seeing this video ad on Facebook, I had no idea that Tony even offered this to companies and their teams. So it'd be really nice to know some additional authority, which would really help sell this program. And then just one minor thing about the video ad itself, the background music is just way too loud. I would bring that down by about 6 to 9 decibels. So leading into the last thing for this particular ad is the CTA. So instead of just having it have something that says apply now, you want to have a little bit of scarcity that drives people to want to click the button below and actually go and fill out an application. So you could say things like, apply now, time is running out. Apply now, but hurry. Or apply to see if your team qualifies. People always want to know if they're going to qualify. Or click below to secure your spot, which tells people there might not be a lot of spots left. Or click below and apply now, hurry. Or apply now before it's too late. So adding scarcity can really drive people's hand to click the button and fill out an application and get on a call with your team. Now, talking specifically about the VSL on this page, it does need a little bit of extra help. And I mean, I know it's great. Like Tony jumps on, it's like, oh, Tony's the representative of this company, huge authority immediately. But some of the things that he's saying, it just doesn't really speak to me as a business owner and talk about the pains or the outcome that I might be seeking, right? So it's like, what's the desire of the organization? What's the outcome they desperately desire? Here's a couple of recommendations of what you could be saying in the beginning of this ad, or VSL, sorry. What if you could increase your team's productivity? What if your teams could dominate the market regardless of the current economic conditions? What if you could strengthen the culture within your teams? And by leveraging all of these new tools and strategies within your teams, you could double your sales, triple your referrals, and gain a competitive advantage in your industry, right? And then you get into the explanation of the how, like here's how the program works. Here's step 1 we take you through. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. Then you get into the social proof and a little bit of the authority. Like here's some people that we've worked with. Here's some testimonials. Here's what they said about the results that we were able to get them. And then you get into the CTA, same CTA. It's like, make sure to apply now, limited spots left, whatever you want to say, build in that urgency and scarcity. But that is all the feedback I had for this video ad. There's a ton of things that you can do with this to really start driving more conversions. And what I'm telling you here doesn't mean you have to put it in the exact same order as I have it here. I would definitely make the changes to these different sections, and you can actually just kind of mix and match some of this stuff. Like maybe you want to drag this one down here or whatever, mix and match some of these things. Make, 20 new variations of this ad and start trying different things. But I would say that the biggest ingredients that this ad is missing is the pain, the results, the outcome, the social proof, the authority, and a little bit more of explanation of what the product is. Hope you enjoyed this video ad breakdown. I'm Kevin Anson. Thanks for watching. So if you got a lot out of this and you'd actually like me to do this for one of your ads and break down one of your video ads and give you a bunch of feedback, I'm going to be doing this for only a handful of people. So if you're interested in me doing that for you, just click on the button below and apply.